Aloha, good morning. This is Caron Davis of Caron Realty International, and we welcome Jane Goodsill back, the author of Voices of Hawaii. And we're having her back today because her second book, Preserving Island Culture, is now available. That's so exciting, Jane. I'm so excited for you.
I'm so excited. The first book was a success, and so then I kept interviewing, and the second one came up, and the subtitle for it is Preserving Island Culture, One Story at a Time, which really tells about what I do. I take oral histories of people, and then I condense them into little gemstones, polish them up, get them approved by the people who gave me the interview, and then I put them in the book.
Very neat. And, there's just so much history and diversity, and, it's just, we all should take a moment how special, Hawaii is. And today what Jane's going to be sharing with us is a story. And the story, what we talked about, how do we kind of explain where this is coming from, what we're trying to get through to everybody. And the title that we put on this for her to speak about, and she'll read from her book, is How to Walk the Line Between Cultural Ideas and Economic Prosperity. To having that balance. So please go ahead.
So one woman that I interviewed was Shaw Thompson, and they know her because she's the owner of Pihati Productions. And so I entitled her little piece called Walking the Line. And it goes like this. My mother, Richie Grace, long Hawaiian name, which I'm not going to pronounce, Parker, was Hawaiian haole from the Parkers of the Big Island. Her mother was Estrella Cockett, and her father was Wilder, another long Hawaiian name, Parker. His father, Robert Parker, was the one that brought Queen Liliuokalani into the palace when they imprisoned her. Some of the white ancestors felt he was smart to do that, while some Hawaiian ancestors felt he was a traitor. The Parkers are split to this day on that issue, which somehow seems significant in my life story. We were the poor Parkers. My relative, Richard Smart, was very creative and theatrical. Years ago, the company we owned, Pihati Productions, produced South Pacific at the House of Janus. Richard knew I was one of the producers, and he knew of my Parker heritage. I introduced myself and said my mother was a Parker, Mokihana, and her father was Wilder. I'm telling you, he stared right through me. I heard through the grapevine that there were many Parkers, some of whom tried to see if they could get the Parker wealth and land. I wasn't interested in that. I would build my own kingdom, so to speak. I stand smack dab in the middle of those who truly dislike tourism and those who make their living from tourism. Hawaiians attacked me early in my career. They called us tourist Hawaiians, meaning we geared our shows toward the tourists. By doing so, we were somehow betraying the Hawaiian culture. I felt I was sharing my culture, not betraying it. And if I made money doing it, all the better. The most successful show in Waikiki in 1982. When did you come?
Oh, I was just actually 86, so not too far after.
The most successful show in Waikiki in 1982 was Tavana's. He had 50 employees or so. He got crosswise with the management of the Moana and left in a huff. I guess he thought that without him, the hotel would suffer. But that is not how this business works. The hotel cannot allow the show to remain closed for more than 1 or 2 nights. They'd lose too much money. My husband, Jack, and I showed up at the Moana to negotiate with the general manager, Nick Bahoth. Sitting with his feet up on the bookcase, he said, "We went to your show and it was not as good as we have now, but I might consider ... My husband was offended, so he threw our proposal down and said, "Well, you call us if you want us," and left. I did not leave. I sat there. He gave me a few more put downs like, "Your costumes look old. The sound system sucks. And your MC has a mediocre voice." At which point Shaw goes to me, "Joe Recta had the best voice in the state at the time." Anyway, she says, I sat there and ate it. The next morning, the phone rang and we got the job to do the Moana Hotel Polynesian Review for 1 year. We ended up there for 5 years. I still tell Jack today, my pake blood is why we got that contract. You, the one who is supposed to be so patient and all that, left. I'm the one who got the Moana contract, and that was the most money we ever made. Jack said, but he talked to us like we were 2 coconuts. And I said, it took fortitude to stay. She says, as I said, I stand smack dab in the middle. I am sometimes accused of, you like Behali. And I reply indignantly, I am half Howley. My grandpa was Howley. And how am I supposed to respond to those who insist Shaw is pure Hawaiian and she gonna come with us? I refuse to do what someone else tells me to do with my business. My belief is be proud of where we came from and rise above it.
What a wonderful story. It's so great. And your accent's amazing.
Well, some people wouldn't think so. Everybody has a different version of pidgin. That's mine.
Oh, I love the pidgin here. It's so fun when people start talking. You know, I have most of my best friends here were born here in Hawaii, and they'll turn that pidgin on at times, and it's just I love it.
So funny. We have a picture of Shaw Thompson.
Oh, really? Okay,
yes.
Let me look through here.
So this is a picture of Shaw, and
here's the book.
Have you got it?
Yeah, I sure have. Yeah.
We were at a party and we were having fun, and this is Shaw Thompson and Nina Keali'i Vahamana Raposo, who was known as the songbird of Waikiki. And I took her interview too. And I'm just going to tell you a short snippet of this. She was a very famous entertainer in Waikiki, songbird of Waikiki. She performed in Carnegie Hall. She performed in Japan. But she said, my real aspiration in life was to be an executive secretary and to be the best administrative assistant that I could be. Singing was just something I did in the side. And she worked for Chin Ho, starting up the Ilikai Hotel.
Oh, wow.
When it was brand new. So she tells stories of being a musician and stories of being an executive assistant in my book. And it's so charming.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
So, and you say she wanted to be the very best. And, I was talking to Angus the other day and I said, always be your very best. It's a character. Whatever you do, you touch in life, you try to be the very best at everything. Right. And obviously she is. And
I said to her, you're telling me that you're working at the Ilikai all these years, and John Berger gives me the book that is basically the encyclopedia of all Hawaiian entertainers, and I'm reading it, and Nina, you keep showing up. And you're entertaining. So are you doing two careers? She said, basically, yes.
It's great. Well, I suppose, even in real estate business, I have the business side and the negotiating, but my creative side is the marketing and the styling of homes. Yeah. And it's kind of fun to have a creative side and the business side. So maybe that's what she was able to do.
Maybe it is. And, and that kind of reminds me that taking an interview of somebody is something that requires a lot of give and take. And the writing is something you do like this and use your brain. And then the marketing is something you do from your charisma. So, it's using all different parts of my creativity as well.
Isn't that great? Anyway, thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And, I think we need to do this again and take another reading out of your book. And maybe we start our own little series about, the Hawaiian culture and having Jane visit and talk about a reading every month, which would be amazing.
That's a fun idea.
Amazing. Yes. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone have a great weekend and much mahalo for listening to us today.
Bye-bye.
Bye.